Hello, you all. Jenny here today in a very positive mood. Don't ask me why. All right, first things first, let's talk about weight loss. I decided to go 4 days on just seeing if I could kind of lose some weight on my own here. I have some set things that I'm doing. I'll talk about that. But I got on the scale today and it was exactly the same as yesterday. I should be devastated by this because clearly my experiment is failing miserably. However, let's talk a little bit about how yesterday went. I mentioned to you that I was going to a women's group in the morning. I went to that and I was pretty good at first. The choices to eat were a German chocolate cake cookie, or cookies, piles of German chocolate cake cookies, muffins that had a bunch of stuff in them. I'm not sure what. They were paleo muffins, though. And then there was a spinach quiche. All right, so I was getting ready to sit down. The spinach quiche still wasn't cut yet, so I decided to go with the paleo cookie because I figured of the options that was the best choice. So I did the paleo cookie, and then the person who made the German chocolate cookies came around and just handed one to everybody and put it on their plates because they wanted them to try it. This tastes like German chocolate cake, but it's a cookie. Oh, I want your opinion. I'm thinking about making them for blah, 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 blah. Okay, fine. So I ended up eating the paleo muffin and the German chocolate cookie, which I didn't even really enjoy the German chocolate cookie, and I would have not finished it had it not been for the fact I was sitting next to, the gal ended up sitting next to me, and I didn't want to insult her, and I'm sure it tasted fine. I really thought that this person makes a lot of paleo stuff because her family's paleo for the most part, and I have to say a lot of it I don't like. It does taste different, but these particular muffins were good. I've had other muffins she's made before, not so great, but these were moist and good. So maybe she had a little extra maple syrup to it or something. So I didn't go back for more, but 2 hours into it, my stomach was actually growling. And I think it's just because I put food into it so early in the morning and my body was just off. So I thought, I'll have some of the spinach quiche. So I had a piece of the spinach quiche. I left a lot of the crust in that behind. I did a really good job of just kind of eating the internal part of it, the spinach and eggy part. So I did better with that. So I had 3 things. I didn't want to have all 3. I honestly think that if I would have just had the muffin and stopped there, I would have been okay. There's something like it just revs up. I want to eat more as the day goes on and my metabolism gets going and revving, and I just feel hungrier once I start eating. So there's that. And I had a cup of tea with sugar substitute in it. Chai tea. I love chai tea. But then 2 weeks ago was my birthday week, and they usually celebrate birthdays. Now, in the month of November, there's 3 of us in this group that have birthdays. So usually somebody in the month of November will bring a cake or do something, and we will celebrate. Well, long story, but I grabbed my curling iron by the wrong end. Don't even ask. I don't even go into that whole story, but burned my hand very badly that morning in a rush. It was a late start, so I was driving my son to school and trying to fit that in and still get to this study on time, and brain fart. Anyway, I'm not going to go into all of it, but really, really bad burn on my hand. I didn't end up going to the study. I stayed home because I actually at points was doing like my Lamaze breathing to get through the pain waves that were coming. I guess it was the nerves reconnecting or something in there, but it would come in waves of excruciating pain. It felt like somebody was just taking an iron and pressing it into my hand. So I thought, well, I'm not going to sit here and make all kinds of weird faces and breathing during the study, so I didn't attend. I knew I was missing out on birthday celebration. Well, wouldn't you know, the women are such kind souls that they saved me a piece. They saved me a piece, and it was a Costco cake. Chocolate Costco cake with the filling and just good stuff. So when it's put in front of you and told, here you go, here was your treat, do you say, no, I'm not going to eat it? No, you don't. You eat it. So I ate it. I did leave some of the frosting on the plate. I mean, I just got myself to the point that I just thought this is too much. So, I mean, but it was a decent size piece that I ate. And then just some of the extra frosting I just left on the plate. But, there you go. I was hoping to just have a couple vegetables, but that was terrible. And then I did have a salad later on. Of course, I was hungry then the rest of the day. And I had a salad later on. So with all of that coming into play, the fact that I didn't gain a little bit more makes me happy. Again, there's never a direct correlation from one day to the next, but just in general, knowing that that is what occurred the day before and the amount of food I put in my body, I'm just grateful. So I'm feeling good for some reason about tomorrow. I really am. And it doesn't make any sense because it's not like I did great eating the past 2 days. But I don't know. I how sometimes you just feel optimistic about something. So tune in and see. I just feel good. I'm going to stay on track. I mentioned yesterday, it's very difficult for me later in the afternoon. I ran a bunch of errands after the study, so I didn't get home until almost 2 o'clock, maybe afterwards. And getting on the treadmill in the afternoon is a struggle bus for me. But I did it. I got on the treadmill and I did a whole hour on the treadmill. I didn't do the crunches because by the time I got off the treadmill for the last 30 minutes, stomach was so sore just from the muscles it used from walking, especially when it was, on the incline. I took it down off the incline sooner than I normally would. And then I was resting and my stomach was really sore from the 50 crunches the day before. So I felt like I really needed to rest. I feel good right now, so I'm going to do my 50 crunches today before getting on the treadmill. And it's every other day should be fine. I mean, within a couple days, I should be able to do them every day if I keep this going. Why shouldn't I, right? So today I wanted to talk a little bit about walking because I mentioned how I walk every day. I enjoy walking. I would love it if I had a really good friend that I walked with every morning and another really good friend with that I walked every night. I just love it. My husband's not a walker. He doesn't really care for it when he does walk. He meanders and strolls. I walk. I don't power walk like some people do, but I don't walk slow. I do it at a brisk pace and I just enjoy that. It's just, yeah. Okay. So that's my jam. I don't enjoy running. I don't enjoy biking, but I love to walk. All right. So I wanted to go over for you some of the benefits of walking that I came across today and read these to you. I think I have in here, there are nine different benefits to walking. So now, the research study that I was looking at was just talking about just 30 minutes of walking every day. So they were saying that if you consistently will walk for 30 minutes every day, that it definitely has overall health benefits for you. All right. Walking, it's easy, it's efficient. You can wear anything you want when you're doing it. You can do it at different paces. You can work up to a faster pace. It's a social thing as opposed to running. People who run together and then, you can't really have conversations. But you can if you're walking. So, all right, here are the 9 things that they said. Number 1, it improves digestion. And it reduces your risk of colon cancer. So those are both number 1. That could be divided into 2, quite frankly. But they say that definitely in the studies that they looked at, there's all these cited articles that have backings behind all of these points. So I'm not going to go into all that because I don't want this video to go on and on forever, but I just want you to be motivated if you're not moving right now to just put this 30 minutes a day whether it's walking around your house, whether you're putting on a 30-minute show that you love on television and you're just going to pace back and forth in your room while you do it, whether you get outside for 30 minutes, go around your development, whether you meet with a friend, however you do it, getting on a treadmill, doesn't matter. 30 minutes a day is going to benefit you. So, 1, it improves your digestion. We can all use that. 2, reducing your risk of colon cancer. I mean, that is something that's really motivating right there. 3, it strengthens your joints, your bones, and your muscles. And this is something, especially as we start to age and things start to atrophy and deteriorate. Knowing that you can do something that's quick and easy and doesn't take much time, that will give benefits to all those things that are kind of going away. If you don't do that 30 minutes of walking, it's a snowball effect. You really need to keep those muscles and those joints moving and active and keep them as young as possible for as long as possible. So 30 minutes a day. Number 3, research has shown that it improves your heart health. So, I mean, number 1 killer of women, it's not cancer, it's heart. We don't think that. We think that it's cancer, but it's not. Heart issues is the number 1 killer of women. So, improves your heart health. Number 4, it improves pancreatic health. And it lowers your risk of diabetes. Again, they could have split these 2 up. So your pancreas is going to be healthier, and you have a less chance of acquiring diabetes if you do just 30 minutes a day. Number 5, improves brain function. Let me tell you, I feel like I could motivate myself to walk 2 hours a day. I just feel like sometimes I'm like, what is wrong? Why did somebody grab a curling iron at the wrong end and hold it for a second before realizing and dropping it? I could use 2 hours of walking a day to improve this brain function. I don't know what's happening, but dumb. So improving brain function, motivation to walk every day. Number 6, it improves your eyesight and may also lower the risk of eye diseases. So there's some research out there saying that your eyesight is better with walking every day. The studies cited down below in this. Let me just read this because it's short. The study tested 18 volunteers who walked regularly and discovered an improved function and neuron boost in the brain's visual cortex. This is the part of the cerebral cortex in your brain that processes visual information. This effect was not found in people who engaged in more vigorous activities. Interesting, isn't that? So just those walkers received the eye health benefit, people who just walked every day for 30 minutes. All right, number 7, another one that is wonderful, improves mental health. You know, if you live in an area like I do where it gets very gray throughout the winter, or God forbid you live in Alaska where it's literally dark for almost all of the winter, the likelihood of seasonal affective disorder or SAD, like a mild depression, is real. And just depression in general. I mean, you turn on the news and it's hard to stay happy in this day and age. And there's so many contributing factors out there in the world right now that can affect our overall moods. But then on top of that, to actually have a study show that there is a correlation between mental health and walking, and that they can actually see in improvement in the hormones that are needed for endorphins to be released, then by all means, that's just another great thing. Number 8, walking 30 minutes a day increases your lung capacity. So that just goes without saying. Of course, the brisker it's going to walk, the more the lung capacity is going to be expanded. But the more you use your lungs, the better health they're going to be in. So any kind of low impact aerobic is going to help maintain a strong immune system, and your strong immune system is also going to keep bacteria away that can cause different lung diseases as well. All right. It relieves back pain. So for anyone who's suffering with back pain, there's a reason to just do a little bit of walking every day, just kind of keeping everything going. And the more you can strengthen your abdominal muscles, of course, you can relieve your back muscles from doing the work. So walking is a nice natural way of working on your core. I just mentioned that I did a whole bunch of crunches 2 days ago, and then yesterday I felt fine until I got on the treadmill and I was doing my walking. My walking is when my stomach just started all of a sudden really clenching up, and I was feeling the effects of the crunches from the day before. And that is because just that walking was using those abdominal muscles. So a stronger abdominal cavity relieves the strain of the muscles on your back. And number 10, I'll just read this directly because it's really, really short. Maintaining a healthy weight. Walking is an important strategy in weight control because it helps burn calories and reduces excess fat. You can burn 90 to 200 calories during a 30-minute walk, depending on your body size and the briskness of your walk. When combined with intermittent fasting and diet changes, daily walking may be an efficient workout for significant weight loss. There you go. I combined it with intermittent fasting and the HCG diet and lost a lot of weight on it. Right now, I'm not combining it with intermittent fasting because I've just blown that out the door. But I mean, starting next week, maybe. But we'll see how it goes today. I'm going to stick with the intermittent. I mean, yesterday's really just the only day that I ate really too early in terms of intermittent fasting. But my diet hasn't been great at any point throughout this week. That being said, it's better than it was the week before. So at least on the scale, we are staying the same. That's good. I mean, I guess that's the first step, right? When you're eating really, really poorly and you're used to eating really, really poorly, at least cut back. And so keep the scale from going in this trajectory and have it start to go like this so that you can then cut down a little bit more and have it start to go back down again. We'll see. I'm thinking about doing P3, starting P3, a strict P3 next week, and see what happens after you've gained the weight back from P2. And then you want to start P3 because P3 is basically supposed to maintain your weight loss at a lower level. But if I'm eating P3 and I've gained my weight back again, I don't think it's going to maintain at that level. I think I'm going to come down a little bit because of the carb restriction that's involved in it. I do think so. So I might do another video reviewing exactly what we're supposed to eat on P3 and do that next week and do my own little evaluation. So, I mean, this 4 days of losing weight by doing intermittent fasting and just low carb is, sorry, it is what it is. I'm going to weigh in still tomorrow and I'm going to weigh in on Friday. And hopefully there's no weight gain. There's just a weight loss, just kind of showing how things are going after not eating terribly, that we can hit a plateau and maybe start to go down. And then we'll look at some other options for next week. There's a couple different options that I have out there, but I don't think I want any of them to be going back on HCG. So I said I was going to talk about hair loss. I didn't do that today because I came across this information about walking and I wanted to share that. So tomorrow, hair loss. I'm going to write that down here so I don't forget. Since we are now 3 weeks, are we? Almost 3 weeks post HCG. And this is about the time that I started really seeing a significant hair loss. So I want to compare that to what's happening right now. I'll talk to you about that. Okay. That's all. This went longer than I expected it to. Have a great day, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye.